morning, my friends. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're right on the edge of something massive? Like there's a shift happening in your life and you can feel it in your bones, but you're not sure what it is? I want you to understand something today. God never puts you through a process without a purpose. When something big is about to enter your life, He will send you signs. But listen closely, because if you don't recognize them, you might just miss your breakthrough. Sign one. Your comfort zone is under attack. How many of you have been feeling uncomfortable lately? Maybe things that used to feel safe and predictable are suddenly falling apart. Maybe a job you depended on disappears, or relationship shifts, or an opportunity you thought was solid vanishes into thin air. That's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Discomfort is a sign that God is pushing you into growth. You see, before a rocket takes off, it has to go through fire. Before gold is purified, it has to be placed in the furnace. If you're feeling that fire right now, it means God is refining you for something greater. Let me be real with you. Before the blessing comes, the battle. Every person who has received something extraordinary has had to go through a season of testing. You might feel like you're being stretched, like you're running on empty, like you don't know if you can take another hit. But hear me when I say this. God is strengthening you. He doesn't give big missions to weak soldiers. If the pressure is increasing, it means your promotion is near. Keep pushing. Second three. People are exiting your life. Some of you are losing people, friends, colleagues, maybe even family members who no longer align with where you're going. It hurts. I get it. But listen, when God is preparing you for something bigger, He will start to remove the people who cannot go to the next level with you. You can't climb a mountain carrying unnecessary weight. Some people were meant for your past, not your future. And when God is elevating you, you have to let go of what's holding you down. 4, your spirit is restless. There's a stirring inside you, an energy you can't explain. Maybe you feel an urge to do something different, to take a risk, to step out in faith. That's your spirit aligning with the destiny God has prepared for you. He is calling you higher. That urge to break free is part of the process. Sum 5, you are being pulled towards something. Greater God doesn't give small dreams to big people. If there's a vision in your heart that excites you and scares you at the same time, that's your sign. Some of you are waiting for the perfect moment to take action. Let me tell you, the perfect moment doesn't exist. Faith is about stepping out when you don't have all the answers. If God gave you the vision, He will also give you the provision. But you have to trust Him. What's next? Take the leap. If you see these signs in your life right now, congratulations, your breakthrough is coming. Your blessing is closer than you think, but now it's up to you. Are you going to shrink back into comfort? Are you going to step forward in faith? Because here's the truth. God can open the door, but you have to walk through it. So stand up, step up. Your season of greatness is here. Let's go. Discomfort is one of the most powerful indicators that something big is about to shift in your life. It's that uneasy feeling, that sense that things aren't quite fitting the way they used to. You might feel unsettled, frustrated, or even a little lost. What once felt familiar and safe now feels limiting. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine nudge, a signal that you are being prepared for something greater. Growth never happens in comfort. Every major transformation begins with a period of discomfort. And if you are feeling it right now, it means God is preparing you for a breakthrough. Think about the moments in your life when you have truly changed. When you learned the most, when you discovered new strength, when you stepped into a new version of yourself. Were those moments wrapped in comfort or were they wrapped in challenge? Real growth happens when you are stretched, when you are pulled beyond what you thought was possible. That stretching often feels uncomfortable, and that's the point. When you feel discomfort, it is a sign that you are being pushed to a new level. a level that requires you to shed the old version of yourself to step into something bigger. When a seed is planted, it is buried in the darkness of the soil. At first, there is no evidence of growth, no sign that anything is happening, but beneath the surface, the seed is breaking apart. The hard shell that once protected it is now being shattered. That breaking process is uncomfortable. It is necessary. Without it, the seed would never grow into the plant it was meant to become. In the same way, discomfort is breaking apart the old parts of you that can no longer serve you in the next season of your life. Many people mistake discomfort for a sign that they should stop, retreat, or go back to what is familiar. They assume that when things get hard, it means they are on the wrong path. But that's not the case. The greatest transformations happen in the most challenging moments. If everything around you is shifting, if the things that used to feel easy now feel difficult, it is because you are being positioned for something greater. You are being stretched beyond your current limitations so you can step into a new level of strength, wisdom, and purpose. Discomfort is also a way of forcing you to let go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes we hold on to things, people, or situations because they are familiar, even when they are not good for us. We convince ourselves that staying where we are is safer than stepping into the unknown, but growth requires release. When you start feeling discomfort, it is often because God is trying to show you that something in your life is no longer meant for you. He is creating tension so that you have no choice but to move forward. Imagine a caterpillar inside a cocoon. If it never experienced the pressure, the discomfort, and the struggle to break free, it would never develop the strength it needs to become a butterfly. That struggle is not punishment, it is preparation. The same is true for you. You are not being broken down, you are being rebuilt. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Discomfort is the process that strengthens you, that forces you to grow, that pushes you to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. When everything around you starts to feel uncertain, it is easy to let fear take over. Fear wants to keep you small. Fear wants to keep you stuck in the same patterns, the same cycles, the same habits. But discomfort is a reminder that you are not meant to stay where you are. You are meant to expand, to evolve, to step into something greater. Fear and discomfort often show up together, but one is a trap and the other is a sign. Fear tells you to run, but discomfort tells you to rise. The people who achieve greatness, the people who step into their full potential, are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They are the ones who embrace it. They recognize it as a tool, a signpost, a confirmation that they are on the right path. They don't run from it, they lean into it because they understand that everything they have ever wanted is on the other side of that discomfort. They know that when things start feeling uncertain, it means they are being stretched into a new version of themselves. It is in these moments of discomfort that you must trust the process. Trust that what feels hard right now is shaping you for what is coming next. Trust that the old structures that are crumbling around you are making space for something better. Trust that the frustration, the uncertainty, the discomfort are all part of a divine preparation. Nothing is happening by accident. Every challenge, every test, every uncomfortable moment is serving a purpose in your journey. Most people never step into their full potential because they allow discomfort to stop them. They mistake discomfort for danger when in reality it is a sign of transformation. They back away when things get hard, not realizing that the very thing they are resisting is the thing that will set them free. When you feel discomfort, you have two choices. Retreat back into what is familiar or step forward into the unknown. The first choice keeps you where you are. The second choice unlocks everything you have been waiting for. Discomfort will test you. It will push you. It will make you question everything, but it will also reveal who you truly are. It will show you your strength, your resilience, your capacity for growth. It will strip away the distractions and force you to focus on what truly matters. It will remove the things that are holding you back and make space for the things that are meant for you. It is not here to break you, it is here to build you. The reason discomfort feels so intense is because change is happening at a deeper level than what you can see. You may not understand it in the moment, but one day you will look back and realize that the moments of greatest discomfort were the moments that shaped you the most. You will see that the things that felt like obstacles were actually the path. You will understand that every challenge, every setback, every moment of uncertainty was leading you to something bigger than you ever imagined. Discomfort is the price of growth. It is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who walk across that bridge, even when it feels shaky, even when it feels uncertain, even when it feels uncomfortable. They don't wait for the discomfort to disappear. They move forward despite it. They understand that everything they want is on the other side. If you are feeling discomfort right now, know that you are being prepared. Know that this is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of something new. Know that what feels like chaos is actually transformation. Know that you are being guided, strengthened, and prepared for the next chapter of your life. Discomfort is not a sign to stop, it is a sign to keep going. Tests and challenges are an inevitable part of any great transformation. Before every breakthrough, before every major blessing, there is a period of testing. It is during these times that your faith, your patience, and your resilience are put under pressure. You may find yourself facing obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. You may feel as though everything that could go wrong is going wrong. This is not a coincidence. It is preparation. The bigger the blessing, the greater the test. The reason challenges arise before something big is because you are being refined, strengthened, and molded into the person capable of handling the next level of your destiny. Every major figure who has achieved greatness has gone through a season of intense testing. This is the process that separates those who are truly ready from those who are not. When you are being tested, it is easy to feel discouraged. It is easy to wonder why things are not working out. It is easy to question whether you are on the right path. But the truth is, the presence of difficulty is a sign that you are being prepared for something beyond what you can currently see. If you were not meant for something greater, you would not be facing the challenges that you are facing right now. Challenges do not come to people who are meant to stay small. They come to those who are meant to rise. Every time you face resistance, it is an opportunity to grow stronger. Every time you are confronted with a difficult situation, it is a chance to develop the mindset and the character that will allow you to handle the success that is coming. Without the test, there can be no testimony. Without the struggle, there can be no strength. The challenges you are facing right now are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Pressure creates diamonds. Heat refines gold. The strongest swords are forged in the hottest fires. If you are feeling like you are being tested beyond your limits, it is because you are being shaped into something greater. The process is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. It is removing the weaknesses, the doubts, and the fears that would hold you back at the next level. It is forcing you to develop the discipline, the perseverance, and the mental strength that you will need to sustain the blessing that is coming your way. Many people pray for big opportunities, but they are not ready for the weight that those opportunities carry. They want success, but they do not want the responsibility that comes with it. They want the reward, but they do not want to go through the refining process that is necessary to prepare them for it. This is why testing is essential. It ensures that you are not just wishing for greatness, but that you are truly ready for it. If you cannot handle struggle, you will not be able to handle success. If you cannot stay committed when things get tough, you will not be able to sustain the results when things get better. When tests come, they often come in unexpected ways. Sometimes they come in the form of delay. You may have a vision, a goal, or a dream that you are working toward, and just when you think you are making progress, everything seems to slow down. Doors that you expected to open remain closed. Opportunities that seemed certain suddenly disappear. This is not a sign that you should give up. It is a test of your patience and faith. Will you keep pushing forward even when you do not see immediate results? Will you continue to trust the process even when it feels like nothing is happening? Other times, tests come in the form of setbacks. You may experience failure. You may face rejection. You may put everything into something and watch it fall apart. These moments can be incredibly discouraging, but they are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to teach you, to refine you, and to prepare you for the next stage of your journey. Every successful person has experienced failure, but what separates them from the rest is their ability to learn from it and keep going. If you allow setbacks to stop you, you will never reach the level you are truly capable of. Tests can also come in the form of distractions. When you are close to something great, distractions will arise to try to pull you off course. You may be tempted to settle for something less than what you truly want. You may be faced with opportunities that look good on the surface but are not aligned with your real purpose. You may encounter people who try to convince you to lower your standards, to take an easier path, or to give up altogether. These distractions are a test of your focus. Will you stay committed to your vision, or will you allow yourself to be led off track? Another way testing shows up is through opposition. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more resistance you will face. You may find that people begin to doubt you, criticize you, or even try to stand in your way. You may experience unexpected challenges that make you question whether you should continue. This is where many people give up. They assume that if things are difficult, it must mean they are not meant to succeed. But in reality, the struggle is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. If there were no resistance, there would be no growth. If there were no opposition, there would be no elevation. Tests are not meant to discourage you. They are meant to reveal who you really are. They strip away the surface level motivations and show you what you are truly made of. They force you to dig deeper, to push harder, and to rise above your limitations. They prepare you to handle the responsibility that comes with success. They make sure that when your blessing arrives, you are ready to receive it. One of the biggest mistakes people make during a season of testing is allowing their emotions to control them. When things get tough, they react out of frustration, fear, or doubt. They make impulsive decisions. They lose sight of their vision. They allow temporary challenges to dictate their long-term future. This is why patience and discipline are so important during times of testing. The decisions you make in difficult moments will determine whether you move forward or whether you stay stuck. When you are being tested, you must remember that challenges are temporary, but the lessons they teach you will last forever. The struggle you are experiencing now will one day become the wisdom that guides you. The hardships you are facing will turn into the strengths that define you. The obstacles that seem impossible will become the very things that prepare you for your greatest victories. The process of being tested is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. It is how you grow. It is how you develop the mindset, the habits, and the resilience required for success. It is how you prove to yourself and to the world that you are ready for the next level. If you embrace the tests instead of resisting them, you will come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. The truth is, no great achievement comes without struggle. No true success is built without challenges. Every time you overcome a test, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of handling more. You are stepping into a new version of yourself, one that is stronger, more focused, and more determined. The challenges you face are not here to stop you. They are here to shape you. When you are on the verge of something great, people will begin to leave your life. This is one of the hardest signs to accept because it often feels personal. It feels like betrayal, abandonment, or rejection. You may find yourself questioning why certain friendships are fading, why certain relationships are breaking apart, or why the people you thought would always be there suddenly seem distant. But this is not a mistake. It is a divine process. When God is preparing you for something greater, He will start to remove the people who cannot go where you are going. Some people are meant to be in your life for a season, not a lifetime. As painful as it may be, their departure is necessary for your growth. There are people in your life who are connected to your past, but have no place in your future. They were with you in one chapter, but they are not meant to be with you in the next. This does not mean they are bad people. It does not mean they intentionally set out to hurt you. It simply means that their role in your story has come to an end. Holding on to people who are meant to leave only creates unnecessary pain. It delays your progress. It keeps you attached to an old version of yourself that no longer serves your highest potential. When people start to exit your life, it is a sign that you are being elevated. Some relationships exist for the purpose of teaching you lessons. They are meant to show you something about yourself, about life, about love, or about trust. Once that lesson is learned, the relationship may no longer serve a purpose. This is why trying to force people to stay in your life when they are meant to leave only leads to frustration and heartbreak. You are trying to hold on to something that has already served its purpose. Letting go is difficult, but it is necessary. Every person who exits your life is making space for someone new, someone more aligned with the person you are becoming. The higher you go, the smaller your circle becomes. Not everyone is meant to handle the weight of your destiny. Some people are comfortable with you as long as you remain on their level, but the moment you start to grow, they begin to distance themselves. They may not understand your vision. They may not support your dreams. They may even become envious of your progress. This is why elevation requires separation. If you are constantly surrounded by people who do not believe in you, who do not push you to become better, who do not support your growth, you will find yourself shrinking to make them comfortable. Growth is uncomfortable because it requires change. It requires you to step into new environments, to adopt new mindsets, to embrace new habits. But not everyone around you will be willing to grow with you. Some people prefer familiarity over progress. They are content with staying in the same place, repeating the same patterns, living the same life year after year. When they see you evolving, it reminds them of their own stagnation. Instead of being inspired, they feel threatened. Instead of supporting you, they criticize you. Instead of celebrating you, they distance themselves. When people leave your life, do not chase them, do not beg them to stay, do not try to convince them of your worth. The right people will never need to be convinced to be in your life. The right people will recognize your value and support your journey without hesitation. The wrong people will always find a reason to leave. Let them go. Let them walk away. The ones who are meant to stay will stay, and the ones who are meant to leave will leave. The people who are truly aligned with your purpose will never be threatened by your growth. Sometimes God will remove people from your life, not because they are bad, but because they are distractions. There are relationships that drain your energy, that cloud your judgment, that keep you focused on the wrong things. These people may not have bad intentions, but they may be pulling you away from your true calling. You cannot afford to be distracted when you are stepping into something great. The higher your purpose, the more important it is to be intentional about who you allow into your space. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Separation is protection. There are people whose presence in your life is keeping you from your blessing. You may not see it now, but in time, you will understand why certain people had to leave. You may not understand why a friendship ended, why a relationship didn't work out, why someone you trusted turned away from you. But trust that every removal is making room for something better. The pain of losing people will never compare to the pain of holding on to the wrong ones. When you cling to relationships that are no longer meant for you, you block the flow of new opportunities, new connections, and new blessings. There will be moments when you feel lonely. There will be moments when you question whether you are making the right choices. There will be moments when you look around and realize that the people who once stood beside you are no longer there. This is part of the process. Greatness often requires seasons of isolation. It is in those moments of solitude that you gain clarity, that you develop strength, that you prepare for what is coming next. Do not mistake loneliness for abandonment. Sometimes God isolates you to elevate you. Not everyone who starts with you will finish with you. Some people were meant to help you get to a certain point, but they are not meant to continue the journey. When you are being called to a higher level, you cannot afford to carry unnecessary baggage. You cannot afford to be surrounded by people who do not believe in you. You cannot afford to allow toxic relationships to drain your energy. The people in your life should inspire you, encourage you, and push you toward your purpose. If they are not doing that, they are not meant to go where you are going. There will be people who do not understand your journey. There will be people who question your decisions. There will be people who doubt you, who criticize you, who try to make you feel guilty for changing. Do not let their opinions dictate your path. Do not shrink yourself to fit into spaces that no longer align with who you are becoming. Do not hold on to relationships that make you feel small. The people who truly love you will support your growth, even if it means growing apart. Letting go is never easy, but it is necessary for elevation. You cannot step into your future while holding on to your past. You cannot embrace your next chapter while clinging to the last one. The people who are meant for you will always find their way back to you. The ones who leave were never truly meant to stay. Trust the process. Trust that every loss is making room for something greater. Trust that the right people will come into your life at the right time. Opportunities and divine alignments start appearing in your life when you are about to step into something big. These moments often come in unexpected ways, through chance encounters, sudden ideas, or even doors opening that you never imagined possible. The universe has a way of orchestrating things in perfect timing. What once felt out of reach begins to manifest in front of you. You meet the right people, receive the right guidance, and start noticing signs that push you toward your next level. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. When you are aligned with your purpose, opportunities will come not because you are chasing them, but because you have positioned yourself to receive them. It may begin with a shift in your thinking. You start feeling more inspired, more driven, and more certain that you are meant for something greater. Ideas flow effortlessly. Solutions to problems that once seemed impossible start becoming clear. This is because your mind is now operating at a higher level. When you are stepping into something big, your internal world starts to align before your external world does. You begin to think differently, see differently, and perceive opportunities in ways you never did before. This is how you know transformation is happening. Divine alignments happen when you least expect them. You could be in a random conversation with someone and suddenly they mention something that sparks a realization in you. You could be invited to an event that you almost didn't attend only to meet a person who changes your entire trajectory. You could be scrolling through something and come across exactly the information you needed at that moment. These moments are signals. They are pointing you towards something. When these divine alignments start happening frequently, it is a sign that you are being positioned for something greater. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Opportunities that you once struggled to access suddenly become available. People who once overlooked you start to notice your value. This is not luck, it is alignment. You have reached a stage where your preparation is meeting opportunity. The things you have been working toward are now manifesting. The seeds you planted in faith are now bearing fruit. The sacrifices you made, the lessons you learned, and the growth you experienced are now opening the way for your next level. At this stage, things begin to flow. Where you once felt resistance, you now feel ease. Where you once had to force things to happen, they now happen naturally. This is because you are no longer striving out of desperation, but moving in alignment. Opportunities chase those who are prepared. The more you grow, the more doors open. The more you step into your purpose, the more resources appear. The universe responds to clarity. And when you become clear about what you want and who you are meant to be, everything begins to shift in your favor. However, not all opportunities are meant for you. When you are stepping into something big, distractions will also appear, disguised as opportunities. Not everything that looks good is good for you. You may be offered something that seems appealing, but is not in alignment with your true purpose. This is why discernment is so important. Just because a door is open does not mean you should walk through it. Some opportunities are detours meant to pull you off track. Some connections seem promising but are actually meant to drain your energy. This is why you must stay grounded in your vision and trust your intuition. Divine alignments do not just bring opportunities, they bring the right people into your life. You begin to attract those who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who see your potential, and who genuinely support your journey. These people may be mentors, partners, friends, or even strangers who leave a lasting impact on your path. When these connections start appearing, it is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. The right people will elevate you, but the wrong people will drain you. Pay attention to who enters your life during the season. Sometimes divine alignments come through unexpected challenges. What may seem like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. You may lose a job only to be led to an even better opportunity. A door may close, forcing you to find another path that turns out to be exactly where you were meant to go. Not every loss is a loss. Some losses are redirections. When things do not go as planned, trust that something better is on its way. The detours are often where the greatest blessings are hidden. Another sign that divine alignments are happening is when you start feeling a deep sense of purpose. You wake up with more energy, more passion, and a stronger conviction that you are on the right path. Your intuition becomes stronger. You no longer second guess yourself as much because you know that you are being guided. This inner knowing is not just a feeling, it is a confirmation. It is the universe's way of telling you that you are exactly where you need to be. You may also notice an increase in synchronicities. You think about something and then it happens. You pray for clarity and suddenly the answer appears in an unexpected way. These moments remind you that you are not alone on this journey. There is a greater force working in your favor, aligning things in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. Pay attention to these signs because they are guiding you toward your next level. As you step into this season of divine alignments, you will begin to realize that you do not have to force anything. The right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will naturally flow into your life. What once felt like a struggle now feels like grace. The hard work, the patience, and the faith you maintained through difficult times are now paying off. Things that once felt impossible now seem within reach. This is a sign that you are stepping into the blessing that was always meant for you. It is important to remain humble and grateful during this season. When opportunities begin to appear, do not take them for granted. Appreciate the journey that brought you here. Stay committed to your growth and do not become complacent. Just because things are flowing now does not mean you stop working on yourself. Growth is a continuous process, and each level comes with its own challenges and responsibilities. Stay prepared, stay focused, and stay aligned with your purpose. Be mindful of your environment as you rise. Not everyone will celebrate you. Some people will be inspired by your growth, while others will feel intimidated by it. Do not let negativity distract you from your path. Protect your energy and surround yourself with those who genuinely want to see you succeed. The more you elevate, the more important it becomes to be intentional about the company you keep. Not everyone can handle your success, and that is okay. Trust that everything is happening as it should. Even if you do not see the full picture yet, know that the pieces are falling into place. The opportunities, the connections, and the moments of clarity are all part of a bigger plan. Continue to move forward with faith, knowing that what is meant for you will never miss you. The right doors will open, the right people will come, and the right opportunities will align exactly when they are supposed to. A deep sense of peace and certainty begins to settle within you when you are on the verge of something big. It is not the kind of peace that comes from external circumstances or the absence of challenges. It is an unshakable inner knowing, a confidence that even if everything around you seems uncertain, you are exactly where you are meant to be. This peace does not mean you will not face obstacles or moments of doubt, but rather that something within you remains steady no matter what happens. It is a sign that you are aligned with your purpose and that what is coming is bigger than what you can currently see. This feeling of certainty is not forced, It is not something you create by trying to convince yourself that everything will be okay. It simply exists. You wake up with a quiet confidence, a deep sense that something powerful is unfolding. You no longer feel the need to control every detail or worry about things that once kept you up at night. You trust the process in a way that you never have before. It is as if something inside you has already seen the outcome, even if your logical mind does not fully understand how everything will come together. There is a shift in your emotions, in the way you handle stress, in the way you respond to setbacks. Things that used to frustrate you no longer have the same power over you. You find yourself reacting differently, choosing patience over panic, faith over fear. It is not that challenges disappear, but rather that your perspective has changed. You recognize that everything happening is part of a greater plan, that even the delays and detours are leading you exactly where you need to be. You begin to trust yourself more. The second guessing that once filled your mind starts to fade. You make decisions with more confidence. You listen to your intuition without questioning it. The doubts that once paralyzed you no longer have control over your actions. You know that you are being guided, that every step you take is being directed by something greater than yourself. This trust allows you to move forward without hesitation, without constantly seeking validation from others, without needing reassurance at every turn. Your energy feels different. There is a sense of calm even in the midst of uncertainty. You are no longer chasing, striving, or forcing things to happen. You understand that what is meant for you will come at the right time, in the right way. This does not mean you stop working toward your goals, but rather that you work from a place of trust instead of desperation. You are no longer attached to the outcome in the same way. You do your part and let go of the need to control everything else. People around you may start noticing the change before you do. They may comment on how you seem different, how you carry yourself with more confidence, how you radiate a sense of assurance that was not there before. This is because inner peace is visible. It affects the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you interact with others. You are no longer operating from a place of fear or insecurity. You know that you are on the right path, and that certainty changes everything about how you show up in the world. This peace does not mean you will not have moments of doubt. There will still be days when fear tries to creep in, when the voice of uncertainty whispers in your mind. But those moments will no longer define you. They will come and go, but they will not shake you. You have built a foundation that is stronger than your doubts, a trust that cannot be easily broken. You no longer let temporary emotions dictate your decisions. You know that feelings are fleeting, but purpose is constant. You may also notice that external circumstances no longer have the same power over your emotions. Things that once would have thrown you off track no longer affect you in the same way. A delay does not feel like a failure. A rejection does not feel like a sign to give up. A closed door does not send you into a spiral of self-doubt. Instead, you take everything in stride, knowing that setbacks are often setups for something greater. You do not resist the process, you embrace it. Another sign of this deep inner peace is that you stop comparing yourself to others. You no longer feel the need to measure your progress against someone else's timeline. You understand that your journey is unique, that what is meant for you will not pass you by. The success of others does not make you feel behind. Instead of feeling envious, you feel inspired. You celebrate others without feeling like their wins take anything away from you. This is because you are secure in your own path, in your own purpose, in the knowing that your time is coming. You also become less attached to external validation. You no longer need approval from others to feel worthy. You are no longer chasing recognition, praise, or acceptance. You do what you are called to do, not because you want applause, but because you know it is your purpose. This detachment allows you to move with greater freedom. You stop making decisions based on fear of judgment. You stop holding yourself back because of what others might think. You stop playing small to fit into expectations that were never meant for you. You feel lighter, as if a weight you did not even realize you were carrying has been lifted. The mental exhaustion from overthinking, from worrying, from trying to control everything fades away. You have surrendered, not in defeat, but in trust. You are no longer battling yourself. You are no longer resisting the flow of life. You are no longer trying to force things that are not meant for you. This surrender creates space for greater things to come into your life, things that align with your purpose and your highest self. New ideas begin to flow effortlessly. Inspiration comes easily. Creativity is unlocked in ways you have never experienced before. This is because when your mind is at peace, it has the freedom to explore new possibilities. When you are no longer weighed down by fear and doubt, you are open to new opportunities. You begin to see solutions instead of problems, possibilities instead of limitations. Your perspective expands, and with it, your ability to create, to innovate, to dream bigger than ever before. This state of peace and certainty also affects your relationships. You attract different kinds of people into your life. Those who uplift you, who encourage you, who align with your energy. You no longer tolerate relationships that drain you, that bring unnecessary drama, that keep you stuck in old patterns. You set boundaries with ease, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. You understand that your energy is valuable and that not everyone deserves access to it. This shift in relationships is a reflection of the shift happening within you. You begin to experience more moments of gratitude. You find joy in the present rather than always waiting for the next achievement, the next milestone, the next breakthrough. You appreciate where you are even as you work toward where you are going. This gratitude amplifies everything. It attracts more abundance, more blessings, more opportunities. It changes the way you move through life. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you start trusting, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Even when challenges arise, you face them with a different mindset. You no longer see difficulties as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. You understand that every test is preparing you for the next level. You embrace the process, knowing that even the struggles are working in your favor. You develop resilience that is not based on circumstances, but on the deep knowing that nothing can stop what is meant for you. This unshakable peace and certainty are signs that you are stepping into something big. They are proof that you are aligned with your purpose. They are confirmation that the breakthrough you have been waiting for is closer than you think. Everything you have been through has prepared you for this moment. Every lesson, every challenge, every delay was necessary. Now you are ready. Now you can feel it. Now you know that what is coming is greater than anything you have ever imagined.